President Bola Tinubu back in Abuja after forging diplomatic ties with St. Lucia and Brazil and engaging with world leaders at the BRICS summit in Brazil. Committee for Constitution Review completes collection and submissions of list of people in Northeast and Northwest centers. 3-day youth engagement program on digital literacy holds in Dutse, Jigawa State. These and more on Panorama, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Elizabeth Omori. We'll be right back. President Bola Tinubu is back in Abuja after his trip to St. Lucia and Brazil, where he attended the 2025 BRICS summit held in Rio de Janeiro. The presidential 001 flight landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 1:30 this Sunday morning. He was received on arrival by his cabinet members, including National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and Minister of Budget and Economic Planning Atiku Bagudu. In Brazil, the president, who was invited on the account of Nigeria as a partner country, addressed the gathering on the first day of the summit of heads of state and government of the emerging economies in the world. It called for a re-evaluation of the current global governance structure in the financial and health care systems, urging greater equity and inclusion for low-income and emerging economies, particularly in Africa. Nigeria became the 9th partner country of BRICS in January 2025, joining Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. President Bola Tinubu departed Nigeria on June 28 for St. Lucia, where he established a formal bilateral relationship with the host country and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. Now, Adamawa state government has joined the federal government policies and economic reforms to create more business-enabling opportunities and enhance all sectors of the economy for the welfare of the citizenry. The commitment was demonstrated during a technical session and statewide town hall meeting hosted by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council and the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms in Yola. Bilkisu Abubakar brings us details.
Holders, representatives from the federal and Adamawa state government as well as private sector brainstormed to strengthen collaboration, promote business activities, contribution of private sectors, and simplifying business environment to have safe and secured economic opportunities in Nigeria. The technical session provides the opportunity for Adamawa state government and the Presidential Enabling Environment Council to reflect achievements and work on the projections of tax reforms, land administration, and expedite solutions on commercial disputes.
I assure you that Adamawa State will continue to strengthen its institutions, reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks, and provide leadership that is transparent, responsive, and committed to economic transformation.
We want to assess where Adamawa is as at the 3rd year of the SABRE program, and we'll be engaging with the state MDAs. Of course, they've started with a very good foundation.
The Chief Judge have set up the Judicial Committee, inaugurated the Small Claim Court. So far, about 74 cases have been filed in such courts, and more are coming up to see that it resolves the commercial dispute, which monetary value is below 5 million naira.
The annual assessment performance of state action on business enabling reforms indicates that Adamawa achieved 5 disbursement link indicators. The collaboration between the Adamawa state government and Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council is certainly a collective effort to attract more business opportunities for Nigerians and investors to have effective and reliable chances in Nigeria. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
To electoral matters, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila have expressed satisfaction with the peaceful and well-coordinated conduct of the local government elections across the state. Joy Ken Abakboya reports.
Addressing the media after casting his ballot, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu emphasized the critical role of local governance in driving grassroots development. He commended the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASIEC, for its efficient conduct of the local government elections.
But you know how typical it is. Early morning, vehicular movements, the buses will not come on time. But the beauty of it is all the officers, all the ad hoc staff are on ground, to go to their polling units, and they have all their materials. So it's not as if there's a shortage of materials or anything. It's really just around ensuring that people get to their polling units, on time.
Also speaking, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, underscored the urgent need for intensified voter education and advocacy aimed at improving turnout in future elections. Addressing concerns over non-implementation of financial autonomy for local governments in some states, Gbajabiamila assured that the federal government remains committed to working collaboratively with local authorities to foster development at the grassroots level.
The execution of that ruling and implementation of that ruling that we're still trying to dot the I's and cross the T's. And I believe in a matter of time we will realize full autonomy.
The local government elections, which covered chairmanship and councillorship positions, were conducted across 13,323 polling units in Lagos State under tight security and in a generally peaceful atmosphere. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakpoya, NTA News.
Now, more than 30 groups cutting across civil society groups, organized labor and state governments presented recommendations during the North Central Zone meeting by the House of Representatives public hearing on the House of Representatives public hearing on the review of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Dauda Mohammed reports that the public hearing held at Minna, the Niger State capital, and featured presentation for the creation of 8 states.
The North Central Zone Center A House of Representatives public hearing by the Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended featured presentations from proponents of state creation, women inclusion in governance, electoral, judicial and legislative reforms, constitutional rules for traditional rulers, and issue of state police, among others.
It's another opportunity for stakeholders and citizens to air their views and contribute to improving the living conditions and standard of all Nigerians.
We want to plead that all issues listed should be critically looked into.
So if creation of state is one wisdom to develop the nation, I buy the idea.
We are asking for a role whereby we can advise, we can support, we can mobilize people towards achieving the desires of the governments at all levels.
So I'm simply calling on the 10th Assembly to give this as a gift to Nigerians by deleting section 6, subsection 6 sub C, which prohibits our going to court to challenge any of those provisions.
We should have state police. State police. The advantages of state police outweigh the disadvantages.
We have run at some people that are making insinuation that labor matters should be transferred from the exclusive list to the concurrent list.
We have less than 5% of women in parliament. And the soup doesn't really taste fine until when you put some other ingredients.
More than 43 recommendations were presented for the North Central Committee, Center A, from Minna, Niger State, Dauda Mohammed.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended has collected and submitted the list of people of the Northeast Center during a public hearing in Gombe, the Gombe State capital. Emmanuel Akila reports that the center comprises of Gombe, Bauchi and Taraba states.
An opportunity for Nigerians from the Northeast sub-region to make input to the bills at the floor of the House of Representatives as Nigeria embarks on another constitution review.
The Constitution under 62 empowers the Parliament to periodically review the laws of the land, particularly the Constitution,
so that it will be an all-inclusive document.
This public hearing, therefore, is not just a procedural exercise, but a democratic imperative.
For those of you who are proponents of restructuring, by the time you hear devolution of powers, you begin to think that your prayers are being answered slowly.
Most of the presentations of memoranda in the Northeast Zone A states are agitations that have been presented in previous constitution reviews, but were not successful.
Tagum's state actually is a movement that has been old, right from 1981. So we keep on struggling.
In terms of economic development, agriculture, and everything that you can think of to make up a local government.
Independence of the judiciary cannot be attained without full judicial autonomy.
13 thematic areas sum up the memoranda and presentations made during the public hearing in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NT News.
In other news, a 3-day youth engagement program on digital literacy has been held in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital, with the theme Empowering the Next Generation. The event, organized under the auspices of Sheikh Tinubu, is aimed at unlocking the digital potential of young Nigerians by equipping them with relevant 21st century skills. Mohamed Musa Skira reports.
Operating under the initiative named Bola Ahmed Tinubu Voice, an offshoot of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Renewed Hope agenda, the program featured intensive training in key areas, including digital marketing, cybersecurity, data analysis, and social media management. Stakeholders at the event expressed optimism that empowering the youth with digital skills and seed capital will pave the way for self-reliance and sustainable economic development.
It's an introduction, and we will continue teaching them online. This 2 days program is just an introduction. We will create a platform which they will continue learning.
Due to this initiative, I know it will benefit our people and encourage them excellently for participating in many things related to this thing that I have learned.
As part of efforts to support the participants, laptop computers and cash grants were presented to about 40 beneficiaries to enable them kickstart their entrepreneurial journeys.
I want to use this privilege to appreciate Sheikh Tinubu for this great opportunity to empower students.
I'm lucky to be part of those that got these devices, and I believe that based on the specification of the device, it can really help me to advance my digital literacy training.
This is unforgettable reward because I get reward that I really appreciate.
The program is seen as a strategic step towards bridging the digital divide and positioning Nigerian youth for global competitiveness. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTN.
You're watching Panorama, reaching you live from Abuja. Let's take a breather. More reports to come. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. And for the continuation of Panorama, let's head to our network center in Maiduguri, where Abubakar is standing by. Hello.
Good to see you, Elizabeth, and thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Residents of Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, have described the High-Powered Committee on Antisocial Vices, recently inaugurated by the state government, as an impressive move that will certainly aid in turning around the security situation in Borno. The report. Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and environs had in recent times experienced a rising trend in antisocial vices such as gangsterism, youth restiveness, and above all, smoking, cannabis, sativa, and drug trafficking, as well as consumption. Determined to address the growing trend, Borno State government inaugurated a high-powered committee on antisocial vices, a development Maiduguri residents described as unprecedented and instrumental to the sustenance of peace, given the security situation at hand.
The inauguration of the committee will really mitigate some of the problems. But as community leaders, if I may suggest, they should also embark on community sensitization and community engagement.
It's a step forward for the government, and I think it's going to assist us in the insecurity of this state.
It's good that the government is reacting now. I pray they will be able to execute it very well, and the foot soldiers will do their work, because it's more than policy issues. It should also involve actions. Those on ground should be well supervised that they do these things very well.
The high-powered Committee on Antisocial Vices is leaving nothing to chance in achieving its core mandate, especially in the area of arrest and confiscation of dangerous weapons and illicit substances.
We have gone around the cities, the wards, and we have made arrests. About 751 suspects have been arrested. And these were people who are out to destabilize the state, especially during the odd hours, that is the midnight.
It is hoped that residents and stakeholders will give the committee maximum support towards getting rid of crimes as well as existing and emerging social vices.
As we delve into the key issues of curbing criminalities and social vices as panacea for ending insurgency and terrorism, we are honored to have with us a distinguished guest, Sugun Maimeli, co-chairman of the Committee on Ban of Sales and Consumption of Alcohol, Demolition of Illegal Hotels, Brothels, Criminal Hideouts, and Curbing the Menace of Social Vices to shed light on these key issues. Co-chairman, it's good to have you on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
All right, sir, what necessitated the formation of this committee?
Thank you so much. You have clearly seen the reason why this committee was set up through your media, electronic media that you have just shown. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, is very much concerned for the maintenance of peace and tranquility in the state. So because of the growing number of criminalities in the state, so he deemed it fit to now constitute this committee, Anti-Social Vices Committee, to curb the menace of this criminality. That is the reason why this committee is set up.
All right. Can you tell us what the committee has done so far?
Actually, this committee has made some headways, especially in curtailing the level of criminality that have been occurring, especially in the midnights. So the committee actually swam into action in making patrols in all the nooks and crannies of the state. We went to hotels where there are also criminal hideouts and where they sell Indian hams. We have made some quite number of arrests. As I have granted interview in one of my discussions, we arrested about 781 suspects, which with their exhibits.
So far?
So far.
All right.
And we have now presented all their cases in court, and some were granted bail, some were fined, and some are still in custody. So we are making some headways, and as I'm speaking to you now, the level of criminality has drastically reduced to the minimum.
It's so great to hear that. Yes. Now, Co-Chairman, have you encountered any form of resistance? If yes, from who and where?
Yes, exactly. We have encountered so many challenges in the course of executing this exercise. Particularly, I can make mention of one arrest that we made along Baga Road, where a military officer resisted arrest. And in that incident, we were able to overpower him because we have a military man in the committee, and being a senior military officer, he now directed him to submit himself for interviews, and he consciously granted interview to the committee, and we arrested him and we handed over to the military. Then the other one is from the community. In Musari, there was a high level of allegation against one of the residents in Musari, but the family resisted. That the civilian JTF and the community, they want to spoil the name of their child. The man is not doing this.
Wrong accusation.
Yes, it's just an accusation also. So we now said, if that is the case, let us collaborate with the committee and the civilian JTF in the ward so that we should arrest him. And when we went there, the family resisted arrest. But because of the heavy number of the committee members, we arrested him, and exhibits were found on him. Knives, very long knife when you see it, and Indian hams, large quantity of drugs in his possession. And right now he is in our custody. So this is what is happening. The people don't understand the activities of this committee. We are not alleging anybody for anything, unless if he is proved guilty. That's why we.
That is to say, you're not victimizing.
We are not
witch-hunting
anybody. We are not victimizing anybody. But we want to see that peace is sustained in Maiduguri, in Borno State. That is our concern, and this is the activities of the committee.
The committee is apparently doing a great job, I must say.
Inshallah.
Now, sir, does this committee has a time frame, within which it must complete its assignment?
No, actually, we don't have time frame for now. But as the time goes, and we will submit an interim report to His Excellency based on the activities of the committee. Then His Excellency may deem fit to extend the time of the committee or to disband the committee. But for now, we don't have timeline for the committee.
Okay, so how would you describe the level of support and cooperation being given to you by residents of?
Thank you. There is high level of cooperation from both the community as well as the traditional rulers. Because when we started this committee work, we brought out jingles. We made consultations with the traditional institutions. Then we now also mobilize the communities that this committee is not witch-hunting anybody, but we want to correct the abnormalities. We want to correct the criminalities that is being taking place in Maiduguri and environs. So we are getting a very high support because we have some informants. They gave us very vital information. They gave us so many information that is helping the work of the committee. So we are getting support from them.
All right. Co-chairman, High-Part Committee on Antisocial Vices in Borno State, we appreciate you for being part of Panorama today.
Thank you
and
so
our
much.
best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Up next is sports. And that's Panorama today from NT Maiduguri Zonal Network Center. From myself, Abubakar Musa, and the whole team is goodbye and see you next time.